それじゃあやっていきます。今ね、DLC のシナリオが一つ終わったんでね、もう一つの DLC やっていこうと思います。スターにお目にできない夜はない。この DLC のクエストです。
This unit expresses dismay.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? See you soon, Captain.
エーテルウェイト。いや。
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance?
エーテルウェブのドラマはどうとか言ってなかった？見たいんだけど。
Certainly,
そう
Captain.
言ってくれないかと思っていたので
You
す。
would ask.
ヘリダウス殺人事件第12話。ハルシオン・ヘレン。
It was the law-forsaken parasites.
お、ちゃんとムービーなのがいいな、これ。
I had become obsessed. My quest to stop them. To avenge my partner, Philip. And my ex-partner, Bernice. And Lieutenant Jurgen. And those two informants had brought me to Rizzo's distillery.
リッツォの蒸留所。
But it wasn't just the triple distilled deliciousness of Rizzo's Spectrum brand vodka that I found there.
ウォッカ。なかった。
It was
そこにあっ
death.
たのは死。
I made sure the brain eaters paid the price. But at what cost to me? It's
あ、
you.
どうもいらっしゃい。アウターワールドやっております。
This is the Halcyon News Network with breaking news. Halcyon Helen has been murdered.
ヘレンの身に何があったんだ？スペクトラルウォッカの新スポークスマンに呼ばれる誰かという誰もが抱いている。リスの認めぶりじゃこの質問に対する回答を拒否し、特別捜査の解決につけたと主張しています。
Captain, we have a
理事から連
communication
絡が。
coming in from one Administrator Ludovico.
Get off the transmission, Cedric. We agreed to let me do the negotiating. Law be with you, friend. I am Administrator Ludovico of the
エリ
famed
タス複
Aragonos
合大気圏
Atmospheric Complex. But there's no need to stand on formality. You may address me as Mr.
当ててみましょうか。ハルシム兵殺害の件で連絡してきたんでしょ
Her death is the tragedy of our lifetime. As the face of our new product line, her murder is a stain on the Rizzo's brand.
ああ、
She
わかっ
was
てる。
scheduled to unveil our
大体
newest
ね、8
product,
時ぐらいには終わる
Spectrum
と思いま
Round,
す。
before this
まあ、これ
tragic
DLC
event.
が終われば
But
ね、
we cannot move forward with our unveiling until we apprehend the killer.
それで真っ先に私に連絡するとした。
All right, Ludovico, that's enough. You don't know what you're doing. Let me handle this. Captain Hawthorne, so glad to finally have a word with you. I would have been so disappointed if Ludovico monopolized your attention. Cedric Kincannon, Sublight Underground. I'm so glad we're hiring a third-party investigator. No one wants to see a troop of UDL guards stomping all over my hotel, least of all me. The murder of Halcyon Helen is a heinous assault on this colony. I look forward to watching you find the miscreant responsible and drag them out of the shadows.
期待しているぞ。イルハイルの主はコロニーに対する攻撃に当たる理由がわからないんだと。
Two-bit actor. Oh, Captain. This isn't Spencer Woolrich we're talking about. This is Halcyon Helen, Princess of Periodicals, Duchess of Dramaturgy. You would not believe the money she made us on Dissident Busters.
For law's sake, Cedric, could you show a little discretion and not bring up your contraband operations in front of an outsider?
Please, Lou. Sublight Underground is built on discretion.
サブライ
I'm
トアンダーグラ
establishing
ウンド。
rapport with our new contractor. Let's not give her the impression that you can't be trusted.
Do you really want to do this right now, Cedric? You want to antagonize me while I'm negotiating a contract. Because I promise you, I'll win.
落ち着いてよ。私に言わせりゃ、あんたのメイクさんですよ。まあ、どんぐりの背比べ
First
ってやつ
sensible
だ
thing
な。
I've heard all day. Oh, my apologies, Mr. Ludovico. That was unprofessional of me. Captain, I'm Constable Maria Keene. Hiring a third-party investigator was my idea. I've been studying your dossier. You are an extraordinary scientist. If your talents extend to forensics, then you may be exactly what we need. As far as I'm concerned, you're the ideal inspector for this case.
調査官か。
I'm pleased to hear that. The future of our complex may depend on your success. I'll leave you in the constable's care. Mr. Kincannon and I must have a word.
Fine. Bud Rizzo's is paying for that hotel room.
I can't tell you how grateful I am for your help. And even though they may not show their gratitude, I know Administrator Ludovico and Mr. Kincannon appreciate your involvement. Mr. Kincannon could lose his spaceport if board authorities took over the investigation, and if Rizzo's is forced to cancel its unveiling, we might never recover.
女優の死で事業に支障が生じるとは相当人気があったのね。
Helen was more than popular. She gave
ただ
something
の
to
女
this
優では
colony
あ
that
り
no
ません。
product line could ever provide. Real happiness. No one has ever been as well known or as well loved. Outside of our courageous business leaders.
有能そうだからこの問題に対処できそうなものだけど。
I represent the law, Captain. But what's happening between Mr. Kincannon and the Administrator is politics. Politics are not my area of expertise. The law is simple. Politics are complicated.
連中の対処ぐらいお手の物よ。
I'm pleased to hear that. From everything I've heard, you're a competent freelancer. And at the risk of sounding impertinent, we desperately need the help of someone competent. Thank you for your time, Captain. Whenever you're ready, I've authorized the Unreliable to land at the Grand Colonial.
Transmission terminated. Captain, we are now cleared to land at
エ
the
リザベス複
Aragonos
合大気圏に
Atmospheric
着陸可能になり
Complex.
ました。よし。
We've touched down on the atmospheric complex in think I'll initiate an unscheduled rest.
We don't have to catch Helen's killer right this second. Maybe we ought to take in the sights. Hello there. Hope your
耐久
atmosphere
突入
entry
3
wasn't
本
too
ではありませんで
troublesome.
したか？
As a guest
当
of
方
honor,
に
you
堺よ
deserve
り
the
の
best in
です。
comfort. Sublight Salvage and Shipping Underground, or Slug,
Slug
as we
です
like to
か。
call
あなた様の
ourselves,
エリ
is
ザベス
delighted
公
to
女を
welcome you to
借りです
Eridanos. I'm the Grand Colonial Head Bellhop. I'm here to grab your bags and direct you, the inspector, to the Grand Ballroom, which was the scene of the crime.
部屋はあるの？
You were indeed. It's the penthouse suite, the best room in the whole Grand Colonial. It was actually Helen's not too long ago. Helen's death has been a shock for many. A lot of people are inconsolable. Hell, even Black Hole Birdie, Helen's beau, has wandered off. Some folks think he had something to do with the murder, but I don't believe it.
ブラックホールバーティー。
Black Hole Birdie may be a savage brute on the field of honor, but he's no killer.
He did it.
い
He's
つも彼
always
氏
the
が。
boyfriend.
Folks
まあ
get
大体
heated
そうだ
when
よ
it
ね、
comes
ド
to
ラマとか。
serials and their actors, I suppose.
ショービズ側のやるよ。
Don't I know it? Reminds me of the shootout in the lobby between Odeon Pictures and Rota Reels back in the day. And you wonder why nobody mentions Rota Reels anymore.
企業間の小競り合いを聞いたことがあるけど、それは過激な話に聞こえるわ。
It was. Both sides decided to film each other across the lobby. See which would fail first. Odeon Pictures mechanicals or Rota Reels employees. For some reason, the Rota people missed a part where they had to be at their cameras 24 hours a day. The final crew member passed out after about a week. I imagine the admin briefed you about Helen's part in the Spectrum Brown unveiling. Too bad about the postponement. Not so terrible as Helen's murder, but still a crying shame.
あなたはリッツじゃなくスラッグの人間よね。
I
リッ
do.
ツは発表会のた
Rizzo's
めに
happened
グ
to
ランド
rent
コ
out
ロ
the
ニー
Grand
の大
Colonial
広間を間
Ballroom
借
from
りしてお
Slug
ら
for
れ
the
たのです。
unveiling.
双方に実に利益があるはずでしたが。
But the murder's gone and ruined that,
イベントが台無しに。
along with 9 out of 10 of my favorite cereals. Anyway, I think I've held you up long enough. Once you're ready, head down to the lobby. The ballroom is just behind the elevators. Meanwhile, I'll grab your bags.
じゃあまた後で。
I think I must have had something in my ear.
Greetings, Inspector. No need.
I feel like I'm spending a fortune just standing here.
Horrible. I can't believe someone so famous as Halcyon.
ヘレン死亡。
I've always wondered what that mascot's got in his hand. I'll bet you 10 bits this is all just some...
Black Hole Birdie's disappeared, you know. That poor fellow must be...
Oh, thank the law. Inspector, you don't know how relieved I am to see you.
社交辞令を後にして、調査を始める準備ができてる。
I'm pleased to hear that. Our coroner has developed a device which may prove useful in your investigation. Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you.
Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you. Oh, please. You make it sound as if I'm turning over stolen goods. Behold, my discrepancy amplifier. Hold it in your hands. Feel the way it hums with ontological potential.
なんとか計算装置を取り付けて改良した正直みたいね。
I work with the materials to which I have access. Halcyon has no shortage of rifles. The discrepancy amplifier uses a deterministic model of our universe to
あるべき
detect the
姿と実際の
discrepancy
姿
between
の
what
食い
should
違いを
be
検
and
知す
what
る。
actually is. Then
それ
it
で
renders
拡大
any
の力を。
discrepancies visible by using the power of
了
magnification.
解。
Go on then. Give it a try. Just treat the amplifier as you would a weapon. Hold it good and
操縦
steady
機を
and
覗き込
look
む。
down scope.
I'm contractually prohibited from endorsing off-brand technology, but I'll bend that rule just this once. You'll want to peer into the amplifier and examine the crime scene.
Elidasのスキャン。
The
足跡がある。
discrepancy amplifier is now operational. Greetings, designated inspector and/or unauthorized larcenist. This unit has detected a discrepancy related to Halcyon Helen. Unscheduled expiration of. Begin amplification?
どうやらモジュール式の分析システムで構成されているよね。
The discrepancy amplifier has been programmed with advanced speech recognition, scientific analysis, and deterministic calculus protocols.
Oh, you'll love this. Amplifier, tell the inspector about your features.
Please do not interrupt the discrepancy amplifier. The discrepancy amplifier is programmed to take instruction from its registered or designated inspector.
How curious. I must have set its impertinence levels to flagrant.
This unit's features include an automated personality simulator. This unit has been programmed to simulate joy and satisfaction in assisting you. This footprint stands out from the normally spotless floor of the grand ballroom. Typically, the ballroom is cleaned twice daily, which means this must have been made by either Helen or her assailant or assailants.
Ah, I see you went to the Canid School of Detective Methods.
木と果物の味がするな。
Footprint is a tailor-made 8.75, suggesting that its owner was very particular about their shoe size. It is also the exact size that Halcyon Helen typically prefers. There are traces of dirt throughout the footprint.
土を分析して。
The dirt carries traces of fertilizer, as well as the faint signs of crushed purpleberries and grass. Grass, fertilizer, and purpleberries can all be found in the purpleberry orchards, located not far from the Grand Colonio. This unit has been programmed to simulate gratitude. Thank you, Inspector.
Good work, Inspector. I had a feeling we'd make some progress once we brought you onto the case. You'll need Administrator Ludovico to grant you access to the orchards. Contact him through the secure access terminal in your penthouse suite. Check in with the concierge. Your room should be ready by now. If it isn't, I may have to go shake someone by the collar.
I knew I should have gotten her autograph.
Staring at her won't bring her back, folks.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but while the hotel is an active crime scene, I regret to inform you that all new bookings, room upgrades, room downgrades, and in-room massages are Oh, you're the special inspector. Mr. Kincannon warned me you'd be checking in soon.
部屋の鍵はある?
Ah, yes. We are most pleased to offer you our grandest of grand accommodations, Inspector. The penthouse suite on our topmost floor is now available for you. The last guest left her belongings behind when she vacated unexpectedly, so we needed a little time to tidy the suite up for you. Simply call the elevator in the lobby, and our highly skilled operator will deliver you to your private floor with efficiency and cheer.
my hello were any more earnest, this loudspeaker would explode. What authorized floor can I bring you
ペントハウス。
Next stop, the finest seat in the house.
Inspector, I understand you've visited the scene of the crime. Halcyon Helen was an important cultural icon. She will be sorely missed.
本題に入ろ
Agreed. Tell me about your investigation.
う。亡くなる前にパープルベリー果樹園にいた。
I can't imagine she had any business outside the hotel. If you discover what she was doing at the orchard, please let me know. Here, I'm granting you access through the gates to the orchards. You're officially authorized to see this investigation through to the end. There is one caveat. Cedric's being rather intransigent about letting you into the spaceport. Possibly he's trying to hide something. Possibly he wants to annoy me. Possibly both. You have a lead to chase. Law speed, Inspector.
Hi there, Inspector. It might be a little beyond my job description to ask, but at my heart, I'm still a bellhop. Was the suite to your liking?
客室があんなに大きいなんて思いもしなかった。
Good. I'm glad. Now, I'd love to bring you to a floor of your choosing. To the lobby we go.
結構広いな。
I hope the murder. But we're in the middle of a lockdown. No one's supposed to be coming or going. And when I can't. Get a hold of anyone in the orchards, I can't make sure of that, can I?
なんか浮島みたいだな。宇宙船なのかなこれ。敵か。また長い橋がある。
Whew. After Emerald Vale.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
足跡だ。
These footprints match the shoes previously analyzed in the Grand Ballroom. There is a 110% chance with a 10% margin of error that they were left by Ruth Bellamy, the actress known as Halcyon Helen.
足跡の間隔が短く、地面についた足跡はまるで確固たる意志を持ったように深い。どうやらヘレは急いでいたようだ。
You can tell a lot about an animal by its tracks.
ヘレは慌ててここを通っていったな。
Hurrying somewhere? Or being chased?
Lovely weather calls for a harvest, I do believe. Well, sweet hello there, valued visitors.
公式ガイドツアーが全部休業中なんですよ。
But our orchards are closed to all officially guided tours at this precise moment in time.
You know, when your folks warn you your face will freeze like that, you aren't supposed to take it seriously.
Why, thank you! Rizzo's encourages all workers to put on a happy face when engaging with valued customers. Rizzo's does beseech you to please purchase one of our self-guided options if you're wishing to join one of our rejuvenative, relaxing, reformatory tours. Now with a Puzzle Hedges trademark maze hunt and special edition taste testing for an extra 35-bit...
生き書きメール TM。ちゃんとトレードマークの文字もある。ツアーが一探ってきたわけじゃないの。調査をしている。
What kind of investigation? You wouldn't happen to be from the health inspection office, would you?
その通り、調査官よ。
Oh, drat. This distresses me, and I do not like feeling cross. I warned the orchardist this could happen when we halted our monthly bribe to Slug. They were always a reliable go-between, regarding inspections before now. So, what might you be looking to find out, Ms. Inspector?
なぜリッツォがサブライトアンダーグラウンドに賄賂を渡さなきゃいけないの？
Oh, gosh golly, for a variety of services. Mainly protection from
動機づけ。
themselves. But they also served as employee motivators. Slug motivators intimidated our line workers into producing around the clock. And, of course, they kept the inspectors away. The overseeing orchardist had the last groundskeeper deliver a contract termination in the place of our regular payment. Rizzo's decided we don't need their services anymore. See, with our new morale-boosting medical treatments, our employees are much more productive. No need for unsightly intimidation tactics.
どんな治療なの？
Sorry, I'm not at liberty to say. Trade secrets and all that. You understand, I'm sure.
ヘレンの足跡をたどってい
Well,
る
you
の？
are in luck. She passed right by here the other day. I thought she'd hired a private tour at first, but it was Dr. Blossom who was showing her the way to the RR and DD labs. Can't imagine why she'd need to meet with our head researcher on the Spectrum product line outside of her lab hours. Unless, of course, it had to do with the new product unveiling. That's right. She was. She sure made for some lovely adverts. Maybe it might have involved an issue with the launch batch then? I can't rightly say. All I know is one of our certified tour guides could have given her a much more comprehensive tour of the grounds were that her interest.
何か武器が落ちてなかった？
Can't say that I have. We use bad batches of liquor
武
for
装してる
our
のは駆除ロボットぐらいですよ。
Only the exterminator mechanicals are armed around here. And I haven't seen any bloody objects aside from the usual pair of gardening shears. Unless, that is, Miss Helen was also stung to death by pollinization mosquitoes? She wasn't, was she? That would be a mighty wretched way to go. Pollinization by killer mosquitoes, indeedy. It's cutting-edge Rizzo's technology. But don't you worry, valued visitor. Our pollinization cycles only run when the orchards are empty, for safety reasons. When a pollinization cycle finishes or is aborted, all waspitos are biologically programmed to return to the hive, their holding pen. Of course, the very last thing Rizzos would want is a beloved tourist bumbling into the hive and triggering an unscheduled cycle. So you'd best steer clear of it for safety. You'll know the hive by its big, glimmering electric fencing.
Thank you, sir.
I do hope this pleasant conversation has made me useful to you. Rizzo's likes it when we're useful to customers, and I like anything Rizzo's likes. I can't stop you from poking around, but do be mindful of our pollinization hive. Waspitos tend towards aggressive at the best of times. There's a reason why we keep him behind an electric fence, you know.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Have a good brawl.
Never felt so good, and I just wanted to make you smile.
Yeah, now that was fun.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Can we do that again? Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon.
Please visit the Purple
オーディオ
Berry
ツア
website
ー
to purchase an audio.
これはいいか
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
With us?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy.
Heads up!
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Access card.
'Jackass is incoming! Someone's buming me out!
Something! Get out here, somebody! You gotta find me! Be a friend!
Everyone all right? Feels good! Feels fun! Oh,
the best there ever was!
You smile!
I don't know if you're keeping count, but I'm pretty sure every lab in this colony's got some horrible experiment.
Hello? I can hear you out there. If you still possess
Just
the
Jesus,
majority of your
motherfucker.
mental capacities, please locate the test room through the lobby and to the left. You'll see me through the glass.
博士がいる。
How in the aether did you get in here? You're not a Rizzo's authorized. Oh, void it all. What does it even matter now? What do you want? Speak up and quickly if you will.
ヘレンの調査をしてるの。
You do know that Halcyon Helen is a fictional character portrayed by the late actress, Ruth Bellamy, yes? One can't be too sure with so many simpletons around in the day-to-day. Regardless, I am not at liberty to divulge such information with non-employees or personnel lacking security clearance level Spectrum Orange. Of course, if you were to say, contract your services to me, I suppose I could grant you clearance enough to answer your murder-related questions, Ms. Inspector. You see, I've found myself in a bit of a pickle. Some of my lab techs have turned rather aggressive following a recent experiment gone awry. Hence why I've barricaded myself in the lab.
あなたにはどうできないの？
Yes. I suppose I should make myself useful. Let me think.
備品庫の鍵。
I know. I can remotely unlock the supply closets in the lower levels of the lab. Perhaps you'll find some useful apparatus or two in them. Wait. You can't leave me here. What am I supposed to do? Execute my subordinates myself? How uncouth.
Another corporate lab, another dead lab coat.
Decided to help me, have you? Or do you just fancy gazing at me through the glass? Remember, my lab techs have turned quite frenzied following a unsuccessful experiment. It's making them quite violent.
敵対的な人間を見なかったわ。一緒には逃げれるかもね。
And lose my life's work? Want me to just burn my lab and my entire future to the ground over one experiment that's gotten rather out of hand? No, I think not. We merely need to clean up the mess, so to speak. Reset the lab back to functional parameters.
At least call it what it is, lady. This is gonna be a slaughter.
Staff can be replaced, you know. Research data? Now that's invaluable. Oh no. They're quite unaware of their actions, I'm afraid. We're a research and development branch of Rizzo's, focused primarily on the Spectrum vodka line. But the specific research that goes on in this facility is utterly confidential. You understand?
研究所をくまなく探せば、どうせわかることよ。
So you've no qualms about snooping through my precious research files. But will you understand the data once you've acquired it? Essentially, we research new innovations for an array of Rizzo's products. My present troubles stem from one we've just developed. The product's potential for profit is nearly limitless. But I'm afraid explaining the science behind it would far exceed your capability for understanding. I've underestimated you. Yes, it seems to be an adverse effect of several organisms attaching to a subject. Quite unnerving.
有機物に起因する有害作用。
Excellent. You have my gratitude, and soon you'll have my knowledge of Miss Bellamy's recent visit as well. Now, if you'd rather not kill my lab techs during this cleanup, I believe you can dispense a sedative gas from a terminal in the utility room.
Better than cold-blooded murder.
The door to the lower labs is sealed for our safety, so you'll need to take the elevator down. I'll unseal the access hallway for you now. Do take care.
Hey, boss. Guy, but I just... Clyde, I appreciate...
仲間クエストか。
Here we go. I want to make you smile.
Well, color me cured. I never want another Spectrum bottle ever again.
よし、神経質ください。
Unauthorized access to confidential Rizzo's information is a capital offense.
シルクハットがある。
Going silent.
Oh my law. It's you. Wait. What do you think you are?
What was that? Boss, we gotta move.
今の銃声は
Well, shit. This case just got a bit more interesting.
スペクトルウォッカ。
We gotta hunt this killer down, boss. They're not gonna stop until we do.
俺らが止めないと相手も止まらんぞ。
Attention all personnel. Unscheduled pollinization cycle is about to commence.
受粉サイクル。
Please evacuate the orchards at this time. Releasing the waspitos for pollinization. Cycle is now in progress.
I don't really know what a...
Confirmation of discrepancy confirmed. This person is most definitely dead. But recently, they were still alive.
被害者がちょっとしか出血していない。薬莢はどこにもないな。
anyone else think there should be more bullet holes here?
What do you think happened? Needle wounds. That'll make a lot of sense. Someone stab her with a syringe? You think it was poison?
注射器か何かで刺したってことか。
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Body heat readings indicate that the culprit was just here, mere moments earlier in the timeline.
犯人はつい先ほどまでここにいたな。空調設計の知識があって、中に入れるくらいの小柄なら、通気口は完璧な侵入口になる。ヒューズの中心連結数が切断されているな。
Reminder, Waspitos are aggressive pollinators who have been known to be extremely territorial.
急いでタイマーまで行こう。
Incoming! Who's laughing now?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Incoming! Bring me down. Trying to infect me with this. I just want to be your
mess for the best.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Reminder, Waspitos are aggressive pollinators who have been known to be extremely territorial.
Cycle 中断。
No active waspitos detected outside of the hive. The pollinization cycle is concluded.
よし、じゃあ理事のところに戻ろう。
On the
Nice try, Mysterious.
Hope you've been enjoying your stay.
I believed Halcyon Helen's death was the worst part of all this.
We should try to solve.
With how?
Next stop, the...
I understand there was an incident at the orchards. The pollination cycle began without my authorization. Fortunately, you managed to save most of the hive. The waspitos are essential to the orchards, you see. Losing them would have cost us months of
カマチは果樹園に必要不可欠なものだ。数人以上の人の命が奪われたわ。その気にならない。
The orchards can be a dangerous place, but my workers understand the hazards. Something about this incident troubles me. The circumstances are suspicious. But let's concentrate on the matter at hand. Have you discovered anything?
事態はますます複雑になってきたよ、エリジ。
You have my attention.
ブロッサム博士が死んだわ。
That's deeply upsetting. Dr. Leora Blossom was an extraordinary scientist and a friend. We have a murderer on the loose, Inspector, as if the death of Halcyon Helen wasn't enough of a blow to our facility.
博士を見つけるには大変な事態になっていた。
Her commitment to her NDA was admirable. I'll make sure to accelerate the payout of her death benefits to her next of kin. I wish you'd give me a little more information, Inspector. Leora was a friend. But I promised to leave this investigation in your hands, and so I shall. If there's anything else you'd like to share, you have my attention.
何か分かったら教えろ。ヘレンが研究開発研究所を見学したがっているそうよ。
Insisted? That's interesting. We'd scheduled a tour of the lab for Helen. Purely a public relations event to be held sometime in the indeterminate future. Then again, Helen and I were not well acquainted. I can't speak to her intentions.
果樹園に少しばらくいたみたいね。
A picnic? I don't recall approving a private social gathering at the orchards. I'll have to make a note of this information. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Was there anything else?
データを盗んでいった人がいるわよ。
That's troubling, to say the least. Any transfer of proprietary data is strictly prohibited without my permission.
高価なカートリッジじゃなきゃ、それほど多くのデータを盗めないわ。泥棒は金持ちなんでしょう。
A clever deduction, Inspector. That gives us a little information to work with.
これはカバチ襲撃の直前に起こったの。誰かが私を止めようとしたかも。
Yes, I share your suspicions. Someone didn't want you following their trail.
足取りを追われたくない人物がい
This
たの。
feels like more than corporate
これは
espionage.
単なる企業スパイではない
Playing with
な。
us, Inspector. And I have never in my life enjoyed games. Did you discover anything else? This incident at the orchards must be connected to Helen's murder somehow. My apologies, Inspector. This case is under your jurisdiction, not mine. I leave it in your hands. When you're ready, I suggest a word with the hotel coroner. She should have finished her autopsy by now.
Oh, sweet gibbering law! Where'd you come from? Sorry, let me just get back in character. Whoa, 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 it's not what it looks like.
ちゃんとした理由を言いなさい。
Easy, friend. No need to get violent. There are as many reasons to spare my life as there are flavors in Rizzo's Spectrum vodka. I'll give you 2 reasons. First, I am a valuable asset to the Rizzo's Rangers Tossball Enterprise. And secondly, I'm just here doing a job for a VIP. Mascot's honor. I am acting on behalf of Mr. Black Hole Birdie, the whole
Black Hole
Meister of
Birdie
the
の代理。
Hack Attack. I don't have a lot of time, but Mr. Birdie sent me to retrieve a message. Something he recorded for Ms. Bellamy while he was off his kilter.
それならもう見つけちゃったよ。
You found the recording? Oh, well, that's just sweeter than a fistful of purple-berry
このままじゃパーティーにやっつけられちゃう。
Oh, Birdie's gonna slaughter me like a woolly cow. Will you meet me later, over at the pilot house? I swear, from the bottom of my employment contract, I will tell you everything I know about Ms. Bellamy's demise.
何を知っているのか教えて。
What? But I can't? Please don't hurt me. I'm sorry. I can't. Not here. I'm sorry. The pilot house complex. Meet me there, and I'll tell you everything, I swear.
What floor? To the lobby.
Did I
Big
hear
mistake.
something? Just wanted to make you smile.
Spit, on they go. You went all right.
Want to hear a joke? You're dead!
操縦とすごい景色だな。
Look here. I could use a new pair of glasses.
You're sure he's not in the museum?
Even if he is, no one will think you dress the same as him on purpose.
I was at breakfast first. If anything, he's dressed the same as me.
But we can part your hair on the other side, just in case.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Discrepancy detected. Rizzo's company policy clearly states that all proprietary mascots
マ
must
スコットは
exhibit
生命
signs
情
of
報を
physical
知らせ
life.
なければならないことが明記されています。作動付近に相があるわね。射出口が見つからないけど。
Excellent observation, Inspector. Have you deduced a possible cause of death?
銃ない。でも、そこらにあるやつじゃない。
Unusually small entry wounds indicate exotic weaponry. Closest approximations are 1. Incident involving a game of darts. 2. The Needler.
ニードラ
Yes, Inspector. The Needler. Bespoke handgun carried and wielded by Halcyon Helen. Famously deployed by Halcyon Helen in Terror on Monarch. This weapon was responsible for executing the chief of the savages, played by Spencer Woolridge.
こいつこの衣装を愛しく思うのかな。
This unit is incapable of providing ethical advice. This unit is also incapable of answering rhetorical questions.
この男のものをもらった方が証拠がいいかもしれないし。こんなものもらって何に役に立つんだ。 結局情報が得られなかったな。あ、これ取ったら盗む扱いになっちゃうな。
Administrator Ludovico can seem intimidating, but he's a decent fellow. I know he cares.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This empty bottle of
この蒸留
spirits
酒の
does
辛
not
み
belong
は
to any known corporate brand. Suspicious residue detected.
高濃度のエタノールね。
Excellent deduction, Inspector. Imbibing of unauthorized
未
beverages
承認の飲料を摂取することが禁じられています。
Ingredients include
消毒用アルコールおよび消灯。
and unidentifiable miscellaneous organic materials.
密造酒か。
Closest match. Counterfeit spirits available at the Piraeus spaceport.
Inspector, good to see you. Let me just grant you access and...
ピレウス宇宙
Welcome
港。
to the Piraeus spaceport.
今回のクエストはやたら吊り橋を渡されるな。
Hey, up.
Hey, you! We've been looking for you, and by we, I mean Slug.
スラッグ。
Been real busy sniffing around Eridanos for clues, haven't you, Inspector? See, Slug Light Underground don't like that much.
If you had anything to do with Sublight, you'd have started shooting about 12 words ago.
Should have kept your nose where it belonged, Inspector. Slug's sick of all your meddling in their affairs. Our affairs, I mean. We're... Draw, you damn breadworm, draw!
安全装置がついてるよ。
No, it isn't. Oh, forgot to put the clip in. There we go. Listen, I could still take you. Don't question my competence.
本当はスラッグじゃないんでしょ？
Woolly piss. Why'd we decide to do this? Hey, any chance we could reschedule? Maybe do this whole showdown business? Never?
わかった。今度はないから誰が仕組んだのか教えて。
Someone paid us to say we was slug and intimidate you.
スラッグを名乗ってあんたを転がせる報酬をくれた人がいるんだ。
That's everything I know. Honest. We were only gonna rough you up a little. You gotta believe me. And we're real sorry.
とっととうせん。
You don't need to tell us twice. Come on, all. Let's get the hell out of here.
手厚い歓迎だったな。
Glad my box hauling days are over. I think I prefer the rest and go.
What do you want?
Boss.
パーティーホルコムだよ。
Black Hole Birdie. The Holmeister? The Hack Attack.
Shh. Not so loud.
どうして俺だと分かったの？調査官なの。それも腕利きの。
Yeah, that makes sense. You must be a good one to sniff me out. I'm in no mood to sign autographs, and I hate disappointing fans. So I'm lying low. You know, incompleto. Oh, yeah, I guess it's kinda neato. Oh, what's it matter? Helen's gone. She's gone and nothing I do will bring her back. I've been trying to find who did this. That's what she would do. Track down the killer and bring them to justice. But I'm stumped. And not very clever. Being bright was always Helen's thing.
Oh, come on, Birdie. You're plenty sharp. Anybody who says otherwise is a Cleo Darlings fan.
Oh, so you're the inspector. Hope you have more luck figuring things out than me. You probably want to ask me some questions, huh? I'm sure you're asking everybody questions, so you can find Helen's killer. So, how do I help? I was getting blotto with the rest of the Rangers. You know, soaked, muddled, preserved.
Looter, half shot, void lush, on the Byzantine swizzle, starry. 1 bit down, 3 bits up, spread across the spectrum. Top heavy. Should I go on?
The team noticed I was in a bad way when I got back to the hotel. When I told them Helen and I were Splitsville, they wanted to cheer me up. We were up the pole afore evening. The hotel staff said we was bothering the other guests on account of all the crying and yelling and practice body tackling. Zeke said we should move elsewhere, get some air. We ended up at the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. I think somebody wanted to pet a woolly cow? There was this one cow off away from the others. Zeke figured it'd be a laugh to get her drunk. One thing led to another, and I think we might have maybe, you know, stolen her. I don't know. We were drunk, and we made bad choices. She was all alone. I know how that feels now. It's so hard to be all by your lonesome. My memory's a little muddled after that. I guess me and the team got split up, because I know I was on my own at the pilot house for a time.
操縦と誰かに裏を取れないかな。
I reckon not. See, I went to the weather station. I was looking for where Helen stashed her data pad for safekeeping, right? She'd asked me to get it, mind. I wasn't stealing. I'm no thief. Sure did. Only there was a guard out there who found me. She started yelling about how I was trespassing and in serious trouble. Thing is, it was real dark out there. So dark, she couldn't tell who I was. Long story short, I got out of there. Ran like the Rangers were down by 3, and I just bronzed the toss ball in the Friday zone. I didn't know where I was going, but my legs took me straight to my friend's... I mean, to my... fridge-rator. I don't want to tell you. I'll get in trouble. Look, I talked to Auric, okay? Auric West. Hangs out around the spaceport. He's the one who taught me the breathing exercises I use to calm down. That sounds like a good idea. So now you have the whole story. After I talked to Auric, I went back to the hotel. Woke up the next morning with Helen's data pad in my hand and the hangover to end all hangovers. Don't know if I'll ever drink again. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you'll probably want to... Yeah, of course. Of course. Helen sure did have the prettiest handwriting. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Sorry. Here you go, Inspector. Hopefully they make more sense to you. I couldn't make heads or tails of them. Either she was writing in code or I'm dumber than a bag of hammers. I tried for hours to crack her notes, but it's like I said. Being bright was Helen's thing. I know that. You gotta believe me. I would never hurt Helen, no matter how drunk I was. You could preserve me in Spectrum Brown and I wouldn't even look at her funny. I want to help you find her killer, Inspector. I knew Helen better than anybody. And it could be handy to have a guy like me around, in case anybody gives you trouble. I get it. I'll head back to the Grand Colonial then. Unless you need me for anything else. What do you want to know? I remember sending her the recording, but... Law, I was halfway to preserved by then. If I'd said something dumb, folks might think I was involved in her death. I was scared of looking suspicious. You listened to it? Thank the architect. I hope she heard it. I don't want the last time she heard my voice to be when I was all angry at the orchards.
I don't like the look of that shopkeeper.
Ah, オリックのとこに行かないと。何か鍵を握ってるかもしれない。
Hey there. You looking to unwind, friend?
気話したくないか？
Bar for a good time? Maybe you're interested in something a little better than beer or Adreno? Something with a little more kick?
何を売ってるの？
The name's Auric. I deal in, shall we say, holistic pharmaceuticals. I know. Ooh, it came out of the ground. That's where worms live. Why go for that homegrown shit when you could be pumping your body full of effort accelerators? Says it right on the Anti-Cleo's box. Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, pal. Those pharmaceuticals the corporations manufacture?
医学的に不正確ね。
Alternatives. That's the way to go, pal.
どういうのを売
What
って
do
る
I
んだ？
sell? I've got premium shit, my friend. Vitamins like you wouldn't believe. Calcium, vitamin D, reverse vitamin D. I got everything, my friend. You got stress problems? I got stress solutions. Aromatherapy. Eases the mind. Diluted mantisaur essence. Best kept secret in the business. And if you're a real freak, techniques to calm yourself by fooling your own mind. If they can tame the rage of a certain well-known tossball star, they can help anybody.
バーティー・ホルコルについて聞きたいんだけど。
Wait, you ain't a sheriff, right?
フリーランスの調査官よ。
I'll be honest, I don't really know where that puts us.
話がしたいだけだ。
All right, fine. Yeah, I know Birdie.
バーティーはあなたと一緒だった。
Yeah, damn shame about that. He showed up drunk at my place when he
破局の
talked
ことを
about the
話したが
breakup.
ってた。
Helen dumped him, he said. Boy, was he in a bad way. We talked for a while, and when he felt better, I sent him back to the hotel. Yeah, that was me. Birdie's got a temper, but he's not a bad kid, you know?
うん、これでアリバイが確保できたな。
Hope you've been enjoying your stay.
The spokesman said that the unveiling would be in depth.
The brochure never mentioned any.
What floor would you like to visit?
パンフレットに蜂が襲ってくるなんて書いてなかったぞ。一体誰がけしかけたんだ？
Inspector?
なんとかしてバーティーの居場所を突き止めたよ。
I'm pleased to hear that. When Helen was murdered, Birdie
バーティ
was
ーが行方不明
nowhere
に
to
なっ
be
ていた。
found. The timing of his disappearance.
雲行きが良くないな。
That's ominous.
あいつの居場所の裏付けになってくれる唯一の人物が売人よ。
I wasn't aware Birdie was involved in contraband. What?
それは知らないわ。私がやっているのはヘレンの殺害の調査だから。
Of course, you're right. My apologies. Birdie's behavior is, even if Birdie isn't responsible for Helen's murder, his conduct is vexing to me. Be plain with me, Inspector.
まだ手がかりを探している最中よ。
Understood. I appreciate your candor. I'd like you to continue your...
バーティがグランドコロニアの中にいることを同意してくれたわよ。
I appreciate that. I'd rather keep Birdie within the public eye than let him... If you're through investigating Birdie, I'd recommend looking into Cedric Kincannon. He's been entirely too...
What floor? To the lobby.
よし、金キャノンのところに行こう。
Incoming!
まずい。
Score one for Felix.
そうだ、敵がいるんだったわ。
Does Sublight Underground run this place? Looks a lot cleaner
グ
than
ラ
the
ンドブレイ
ground
トがいる。全然清潔そうだな。
You got an appointment? You're not allowed up with no appointment.
Well, now, this is unexpected. I'm torn. I
彼女は
despise
スラッグに
Miss
とってかけがえのない
Toyota,
存在だ。
who is entirely invaluable to Slug, and yet I do enjoy this bold, dare I say brash, approach you're taking.
ずうずうしいやり
Now
方。
then, here for my alibi, I assume.
外での不明な対応について説明してくれ。
Another murder? Drunk Raptidons? Black Hole Birdie practicing his hacking in the middle of the streets? Stop me if it's one of those, or I'll just keep guessing.
スラッグ職員が何人か私に詰め寄ってきたよ。
Did you now? You're confident they were slug agents and not, I don't know, hired thugs in stolen uniforms?
質問の内容は随分特殊ね。
I'm a very specific man. It tends to invite specific problems. The real question is, why would someone want thugs to get their hands on slug gear?
背後にいるのが誰であれ、明らかにそいつは私のスラッグと対立させたがっている。
I suspect you're right. But I can't fathom who would benefit from tarnishing my reputation like that. Can you?
仕事の関係から見れば、おそらく誰よりもルドビフの可能性が高いよね。
You said it, not me. So, as you've deduced, I did not send anyone from Slug after you, nor is it likely they assigned themselves that task. Still, I am sorry for the trouble, Inspector. With that settled, I assume you'll want to know where I was the
俺
night
が
of
どこにい
Helen's
たのか
murder.
知りたいんじゃないか。
Let's see. That night, I was... torturing Elliot Nasser for information on missing cargo. That was a messy one. Didn't break until nearly noon the next day. Can you imagine?
それを裏付けるためにエリオットを探したいんだけど。
An excellent question. I had his body dropped off the edge of the land.
死んだんかい。
I'm not sure what happened to it from there, scientifically speaking. Maybe it dissolved?
いや、もう溶けちゃってるかもしんない
doesn't
な。
matter. You'd be a fool to believe me, regardless of what I told you. People lie, and I am, incriminatingly, people.
あなたの言うことはどうやって信じればいい？
It's as I said. You shouldn't. If it helps, however, you might consider pursuing not my means, but my motive. Why in the name of the architect would I kill Halcyon Helen? She was making me a fortune.
つまりヘレンの死はスラッグにとって純粋な損失なのね。
I'm considering a line of commemorative merchandise. Still, that's nothing compared to what Helen would have made us in the long run. I'd offer to assist you in your work, but I've a mystery of my own to solve, I'm afraid.
何か調べておいた方がいいかな。
You may very well want to. This particular trouble strikes me as not unrelated to your investigation. Items are disappearing from Slug's storage and processing warehouse. Before you ask, I know the difference between cargo going missing and cargo going missing. This is the latter.
ヘレンの死とどう関係があるの？
I'm not sure. I'm only confident there is one. That the theft began mere days before Helen's untimely demise is an extraordinary coincidence. I'm not a man who believes in happenstance, Inspector.
窃盗が今回の事件と無関係だという確信は持てないと思う。
I certainly wouldn't take that bet. Regardless, this will be fun. You out in the field, chasing down leads. Me, scheming in my office, preparing to unspeakably mangle the perpetrator.
黒幕が誰であろうと行き先は刑務所であって、あなたのところじゃない。
You do recall, Inspector, that I'm not to be trusted? You'll want to speak with Ella Tinsley, the warehouse foreman. I've cleared her as a suspect myself, but should she refuse to cooperate, shoot her. No,
彼女が協力を拒んだら撃っ
If
て
she
もい
won't
い。
cooperate, tell me and I will shoot her. And do feel free to search my office for clues while you're here. Don't hold back on my account. Was there something else you wanted to discuss?
なぜルドビキがあんたを嫌
The
っている
original
の？
incident? Well, I made him an offer he should have refused.
彼はあなたと仕事をしたことを後悔してるの？
An excellent deduction, Inspector. Our combative relationship stems from paperwork, mundanely enough. Rizzo's contracted Sublight to construct the Eridanos atmospheric complex. Had Lou wanted Rizzo's to retain full control of Eridanos, he shouldn't have skimmed the revised contract I sent him. Lou's an administrator, for law's sake.
彼を欺いたのね。
Think of it this way. It was a test, and he failed. It was all perfectly legal, too, which irked Lou to no end. My power grab, as Lou called it, planted the seed of hatred. And Lou, obsessed with what should have been, has made sure to water it daily with his bitterness and anger.
和解した方がいいと思うぞ。
Alas, I can't. I am, first and foremost, the head of Slug, and it simply wouldn't be good for business. Slug's control of Eridanos is a crucial step in my long-term plans for Sublight. The board needs to see irrefutable proof we are a respectable, legitimate business.
表記外の考えが気になるの？
Because one day soon, Sublight will obtain a seat on it. Meanwhile, our dear administrator is still laser-focused on old slights, which can be a nuisance. He's grown increasingly desperate to catch Slug with our hand in the proverbial cookie jar as of late, convinced we're involved in less than legal business opportunities.
ビジネスチャンスにしない方がいいぞ。
Continue investigating, Inspector. I'm afraid you'll find both you and Ludovico will be disappointed in that regard.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This copy of
未定という冊子。
contains 142 fewer pages than a standard
242ページも落書してい
The
る。
missing pages were likely removed to create sufficient space for the hidden listening device inside.
送信距離が短いやつね。レシーバーはこの辺にあると見て間違いないわ。
Inspector, please consider speaking into the device in order to trace the transmission and reveal the receiver's location.
首を洗って待ったな。
Ominous threat transmitted. Transmission analysis complete. While the precise location of the receiver could not be pinpointed, it has been narrowed down to a smaller, approximate range.
What's that you found? No, wait, don't tell me. Let's save it for the big reveal once you've solved the case.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Transmission
送信テープのエンドポイントだ。
The receiver in this book matches the transmitter to the listening device found in Cedric's office. It's somewhat grime covered.
誰が置いたかわかる？
Due to the high level of foot traffic in this area, this unit is unable to determine who placed the device.
どれくらいの間地面にあったのかな？
Based on the accumulated mix of sludge and detritus, the receiver has been present since approximately a week before Helen's death.
Hi there.
このエリアは立ち入り
Sorry,
禁止
this
だ。
area is off limits to port vision.
あ、あんたは調査官だ
Oh,
な。
wait half a second. You're the inspector. Sorry about that. I'll buzz you right in. Feel free to have a look around, ma'am.
So this is where Slug keeps all its contraband, right?
You're the
あ
inspector,
なたが
aren't
例の
you?
調査官ね。
Boss Kincannon said you'd be by about the cargo that's been going missing. Gosh, this is so neat. A real-life inspector. What's that like? Have you solved any mysteries yet? Ever had to shoot a suspect?
私は山解決って呼んでるけどね。この仕事の醍醐味よ。
Case. Just like a real inspector. Right, so the missing cargo. How can I help your investigation?
どんなものが盗まれた？
That's the weird part. There's no pattern far as I can tell. I ask you, who would steal a handful of Spacer's Choice Sabers, so dull they can barely cut mud, but leave
スペーサーズチョイスのサーベル。
Ugh. Who'd be desperate enough to want to steal a Spacer's Choice Saber full...
どうやら星は盗品売買には興味がないらしいな。
Yeah, probably not. No one's dumb enough to think Spacer's Choice Sabers are worth half a damn. Then there's the most recent theft, 5 boxes of pens and a couple of sodas. I can't decide which one's sadder.
パターンがないと言ってるのも納得だ。
Well, I'm no inspector. If there is one, I'm sure you'll find it.
誰か活物に出入りできるの？
Everyone here at Freight Storage and Processing, for a start. Thing is, the cargo is going missing before the shipments even get to the
移
warehouse.
送されないうちに貨
Best
物
I
が
can
なくな
figure,
る。
it's probably getting lost in the
出
shipping
荷
yard.
場で紛失。
As for who has access there, Benton Chan, he's the shipping yard manager. He told me it's mainly just the loading automechs that handle cargo.
ロボットに問題が発生したのかも。
Could be. Those things will break if you so much as look at them funny. That's Benton's area, but don't bother asking him for help. Last time I asked him to check the automechs, the whole head told me he couldn't help because he was dead.
中国語どうも。
It won't bother him any if you have a look yourself, though. Hopefully, you're mechanically inclined. Oh, before I forget, I figured you might want to access my terminal, so I had a spare keycard made.
お、キーカードか。
Timeline discrepancy detected. Inspector, this loading automechanical
このロボットのプログラミン
match
グは
factory
工場
default
の
settings.
ゴー
The
しません。
standard defensive protocol has been
防
modified
御優先プ
to
ロトコル。
include an additional trigger.
形跡をスキャン。
Slug automechanical maintenance records indicate this particular unit is frequently reported as out of position or missing for periods of time.
標準的な防御優先プロトコル。
For Type K-19 cargo transport automechanicals, defensive protocol is triggered by attempted interference with cargo, or its transportation, or attempted destruction of the unit. Once triggered, defensive protocol targets the perpetrator and applies lethal force until the target has been deceased for a minimum of 3 minutes.
起動要因を確認。
There is a directive in place to initiate defensive protocol should an unsanctioned data log installed in this automechanical be removed.
Loading automechanical unit K-14 is fully operational at 99% power. Please designate the cargo to be transported and its destination. How can this automechanical assist you?
アクセスパネルの解除。
Access panel is open. Please be sure to close the access panel when you are done.
安全装置を無効。
Failsafe successfully disabled. Kill mode deactivated. Ejecting data log 17C.
どうやら、1日4日ごとに貨物から手当て次第盗むように命令されているようだ。6875番の貨物を盗むという命令もある。中身は何だ？
Apologies. This unit does not have access to cargo inventory lists. Unit entering standby mode. Have a nice day.
Inspector, to what do I owe the pleasure?
貨物の大問題を解決したよ。
Ooh, I love this part. The big reveal. So tell me, what happened?
重大なセキュリティ上の問題がある。
What makes you say that?
ロボットのセキュリティシステムをバイパスしてランダムな品物を横取りするように書き換えたやつがいる。
Damn, you're good. Hacking the Automex. So that was our skimmer's game. But why? Everything that was stolen has seemed random. I certainly see no pattern.
パターンを見出されたらなかったのよ。
A cover-up. I see. The random theft was a smokescreen to hide what the culprit really wanted. I must say, Inspector, you've done excellent work on this case. Then that just leaves how the culprit knew where their true target would be, or indeed, that Slug would soon possess it.
これを見つけたよ。
Am I right to think what you found in my office earlier was the other half of this listening device?
この機器の持ち主が誰でもそいつが犯人よ。
Not quite, Inspector. That listening device belongs to me. I lent it to Halcyon Helen to assist her with role research.
こういうことね。彼女は自分が発見したロボットの機能を提出する前に死んだのよ。
That or she
あ
never
るいは
intended
止め
it
る
to
気がな
stop.
かった。
Impossible to know now. Unbelievable. I helped her. Gave her whatever she needed. I thought we were doing each other a good turn.
個人的なことだったとは思えない。
This is a betrayal, Inspector. I do not take betrayal lightly. Helen should consider herself very lucky indeed that she is already among the dead, and that some other bastard beat me to putting her in the ground.
動機が見つかったようだな。
Yes, I suppose we have. There is,
ちょっ
however,
と
a
時系列に矛
slight
盾があるだろ。
chronological incongruency to it. I now have a motive to kill Halcyon Helen, but Halcyon Helen is already dead. If I'd known Helen was stealing from me, I may very well have killed her, or had her killed. Alas, I did not.
あるいは全部知っていて、騙すために見せ物を準備したんでしょ。
Oh, that is good, Inspector. Now you are thinking in the manner you must if you intend to get to the bottom of this mess. I wish you luck with your investigation, though I doubt you'll need it. You'll find Helen's murderer. I'm confident of that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must find a way to excise my anger that minimally damages my business empire. I expect it will involve shooting quite a lot of guns.
Hope you've been enjoying your stay.
Black.
What floor? Next.
Inspector,
調べてきたわ。
closely, I trust. Tell me what you found.
アリバイがあったよ。
Of course he's got an alibi. He runs Sublight Underground. He probably starts his day by preparing half a dozen alibis. With that in mind, do you think Cedric was responsible for Helen's death?
売り上げで貢献していての動機があるとは思えない。
No motive. That's disappointing, because it's exactly the conclusion he'd want us to make. Unfortunately, even I don't have the authority to detain
あいつの
Cedric.
事業内容は
His
危険
line
な
of
ものだ。
work is dangerous, though. There's always a chance for an accident. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I've already lost Dr. Blossom and Constable Keene, but at least Cedric's alive. The universe is a just place.
あ、そろそろ犯人を当てなきゃいけないな。ちょっと石のところに行ってみようか。犯人は一体誰なのか。
Inspector.
検査報告書を書き終えたところ
I've
よ。
just finished my autopsy report. Ruth Bellamy was killed by plasma damage to the upper vertebrae,
Plasma
the
damage.
bone, and the cerebellum. If it's any consolation, her death was instantaneous and painless. I've also discovered a poisonous compound in Miss Bellamy's stomach lining ingested during her last meal. Toxic, but not enough to kill her. Spencer Woolrich complained of a stomach ailment around the same time period. I assumed he was being, you know, Spencer. But now I'm not so sure.
毒を持ったんだな。
Almost certainly. Well, possibly they were trying to make her extremely uncomfortable, but I suppose killing her would also satisfy that criterion. The thought occurred to me. I tested this hypothesis by vacating the contents of my stomach and testing for the presence of the same toxin. Slightly elevated levels of mercury and an alarming amount of blue food coloring. But other than that, no. I'm certain it wasn't, as you put it, just the hotel food.
前の会話でハルシオ・ヘレンのことをルース・ベラミーって呼んでたね。
Oh, how curious. I do believe you're right. I wonder if this has something to do with the autopsy process.
She was Halcyon Helen up until the moment I brought her to the operating table. But as soon as I cut her open, I stopped thinking of her as Halcyon
女
Helen.
優ではなく、一
It's
人の
almost as
人
if
間
she
として、
stopped being an icon and became a human being.
なんとなくわかるわ。
I had a feeling you'd understand.
じゃあまた後で。
Here we go!
Who's next? Nobody?
あ、やっちゃった。撃つつもりはなかったんだけど。
Inspector.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector?
ビプロに行く用事ができたんだけど。
I'd love to, Inspector, but I don't really have the authority. Moreover, the guests were promised exclusivity. If I let you up there, I'll never hear the end of it.
私が入って問題視する客がいるとしたら、そいつが犯人よ。
That's a good point. If they give me guff, I can just tell them that they're obstructing justice. That has a nice ring to it. Let me just set you up with VIP guest floor access. Done. You can now come and go as you please.
If you see Black Hole Birdie,
パーティーを見かけたらサインをもらってきてください。
just joking. I've already got one.
もう持ってるんかよ。
About time you arrived. I see you haven't dressed the way I asked you to, but I suppose that was expecting too much of a non-industry lout.
スペンサー。
Expect a complaint to management. Now, unless you'd like to waste more of my time, I suggest we begin rehearsing. Ready?
リハーサル。
You've fallen right into my trap, Captain. Oh, don't bother to fight back. You cannot hope to stop me from installing philosophism as the system's reigning ideology.
フィロソフィズムにもっといいものを教えてあげられるよ。今から二人きりになる場所へ移動しない？それは脚本に書いてないだろう。
That can't be in the script, is it? Now, is it warm in here? I must send for a mechanical to look at the thermostat. Wait a moment. You're not wearing a bellhop's ID, which must mean you're not Owen's understudy. That man can't even be relied upon to find his own replacement. Oh, no, this is curious indeed. Who are you? And how did you get in here?
ただの略奪者です。
What a quaint claim. You're so adorable. I won't even call security. No, really, I mean it. You've most certainly endeared yourself to me, and I think I know why you're here. Now, what shall I sign first? Your weapon? Your wallet? Or perhaps something a little more personal? Undergarment signatures have been popular of late, or so I've heard.
聞きたいことがあるから来たの。
Do you mean to say you're not a fan? Well, then how did you get in here? The only staffer cleared for guest room entry is the inspector for Bellamy's murder. Oh. Hello.
大変失礼するな、調査官。
I didn't realize it was you. Understand that I am beyond willing to comply with your search for the fiend that did Bellamy in. You know, now that I look at you, you're the perfect reflection of me. Back when I started, the Marauder's Bane, the absolute picture of justice. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer.
聞きたいことがある。
Certainly. But one quick question before we begin, if I may. How was it that Bellamy met her end?
どんな最後だった？苦しんだはずよ。
How awful. Whoever did this must have been quite heartless.
犯行時間何をしていた？
I was meditating, of course. That's how I get in.
それを裏付けできる人はいる？
Respectfully, Inspector, it is rather counterproductive to commune with others while meditating. All actors have their methods, and this has been mine ever since I met that wonderful prophet of profitability. She taught me it for my role in The Unemployed Cometh. I had to lie face down on artificially heated pavement. The director wanted our suffering to be convincing. Needless to say, being able to leave my body helped to mitigate the pain, both during the 8-hour shoot and with the second-degree burns afterwards. I owe that woman much.
預言者にはどれくらい期間お世話になってんの？
Yeah, actually, only since I've been at the Colonial. The unemployed... I cannot recommend her services enough. I'll answer whatever you wish.
ヘレンのことはよく知ってたの？
Bellamy has been my co-star throughout the autumn of my career. In fact, I cannot name a single role
この10年間でどういう形で彼女と関わっていなかった役など一つも浮かばない。
Unless you count the uncredited silent shopkeep on Melissa's meteoroids.
ウキウキだったんだろうな。
Oh, it wasn't. And don't think I haven't picked up on your tone. Resenting Bellamy is one thing, but killing her is another completely. It's also beneath me. Oh, come now, Inspector. What do you take me for? I'm an old man. I neither have the time nor the willpower to kill people for...
もう十分だ。
I suppose that is enough on that grim subject.
毒を盛られたと聞いたけど。
Indeed. The agonizing bowel pain was most undignifying. While I've certainly had no shortage, I suspect poison. And who would be most likely to poison me but Chef Anwar? Oh, we've clashed almost non-stop about his slop preparation.
私の食事を怪我したと見て間違いない。
In retaliation. None that I can think of. I treat all hotel staff equally.
お腹が痛かったのにクリニックに行かなかったの？
Jibe? Could you imagine the tabloid headlines? Spencer Woolrich, Aether...
ヘレンも同様毒をもられたよ。
Alarming! Whoever targeted her was certainly targeting me.
ヘレン死因は毒じゃないぞ。
Oh, that's very good to know. Perhaps the poisoner simply meant to Very well, then.
毒をもられた件について聞きたいことがあるんだけど。
Oh, must I relive that ghastly event again? My intestines still have... But I suppose we may... Very well, then.
本当は誰なんだ？
I'm sure you're joking. Perhaps I'm not in my prime.
どれやら親友でスペンサー・ウールリッチという名を聞いたことがあるだろう。
On many a...
ああ、確かにその名前見かけたことがあるかも。
You think?
よし、じゃあ、コックに聞いてみよう。
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
You think you're tough waving that thing around? Yes? Are you here for the double rack of smoked sprat? Oh, don't give me that look.
さっき起こったばかりの事件は気にならないの？
Crime or no crime,
仕
I
事に
must
専
keep
念
my
しないとい
head
けませんか
on my
ら。
work. One does not simply become...
事件の調査をしに来たの。
You're the inspector? Here?
食事はあなたが準備していたの？
Of course I did.
最後の食事、どこが盛られていたんだ？
Oh. Oh my law, this is the end, isn't it? Okay. I wasn't the one who did it, but I might have been. Spencer Woolrich and Bellhop Owens were underfoot in the kitchen as I was preparing Helen's meal. Either one of them could have tampered with the... I understand your reluctance, but... Oh, I just remembered. Constable Keene has access to the security footage in her office. Mr. Woolrich often finds the hotel's meals. While I could appreciate someone with a discerning palate, if you wish to speak with him, Mr. Wool... Yes, but not specifically.
こういう開発予定
Often procures exotic ingredients from the creatures at the wilderness. Let's not talk about the incident with... It's always hard to say when Owens might be back. If I were you... Thank you for your understanding, Inspector. I'm sure you'll find the true culprit before long.
Analysis of this stovetop reveals an alarming degree of grease buildup, approximating proximity to volatile gases and chemicals. Chances of an explosive combustion upon next use currently at 92.9%.
スラックはなぜこれに気づかないの？
Searching slug work logs. No work log found. Creating conjecture. Slug has likely not fixed this issue due to a lack of responsibility on the part of their employees. Most corporations have regular cleaning procedures to prevent damage to company property. Slug, already unlike most corporations in a variety of ways, does not. That or the employees tasked with inspecting are shirking their duties. For shame. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This is a bottle of
この水玉には未発売のリッツ製品。ベタつく B を残されて精一杯だったでしょう。犯人の名前かな？
This hypothesis is plausible, but requires additional information.
B に当てはまるのいっぱいあるわね。
Now calculating likelihood of Halcyon Helen using low to moderate light.
I was wondering about that. Before we arrived, I heard something on the aether waves about Black Hole...
Correct. Bertie Black Hole Holcomb is a registered guest at the... Accessing guest database, B. The Grand Colonial Hotel is proud to serve the following VIPs. Bertie, comma... This evidence has been recorded for later reference. Now
Hostility detected. Please lower your hostility. Greetings, non-criminally associated individual. Bureaucratic processes are please speak clearly.
グラウンドフロアの厨房にある監視カメラの映像が欲しいの。
All requests for security footage.
わかった、どうぞ。
Bits received. Delivering footage.
Raptidons here too. I appreciate the effort.
上流階級の連中はクソバカだな。
Runners are fucking stupid.
You're here. I hope you have the Photon Proto-Distributor, or we're never leaving this damn facility. That was from the Twin Spies. I played a sentient mechanical. Ask me anything at all. I might even give you a straight answer.
いっそ情報を得たんだけど。
Oh, have you now?
監視カメラの映像を持ってるぞ。
Tampering? No, no, no. I just happened to be passing through the kitchen.
プテロレーの単管線を使って何を企んでるぞ。
What? That damned bellhop promised discretion. Well, if you must know, it's an appetite suppressant. How do you think I keep my form so lithe? Terror ray glands keep me from feeling hunger pangs.
I've never heard of that. You sure you're talking about terror rays? Their bits tend to give folks the runs.
Oh, that's it. I'm firing my nutritionist this instant.
食欲抑制効果があれば、服用したらお腹が空かなくなるでしょ
Oh, well, there's... Maybe I just wanted to see what was in it. Oh, law. What a pathetic defense. As it so happens, I may not have had the terror gland acquired for personal use. I may have placed it in Bellamy's meal. But before you indict me, please, just listen. I wasn't trying to kill her.
毒を漏れた話は嘘だったのか
Lie is such a strong word. But even if I had chosen to poison myself, terror ray glands aren't supposed to be lethally poisonous. They're supposed to cause extreme... She would have had to eat 6 or 7 of the glands to die. And even then, it...
前にエーテルエイトでそんな役を演じたのかな
No, really, you must listen. I wasn't trying to kill Bellamy. I only wanted her to be incapacitated during the Brown unveiling.
発表会の司会にありつけるからな
The next available. Please think twice about telling the administrator of my misdeeds.
よし、わかった。
Thank you very much, Inspector. And for what it's worth, I...
What? なんだ、自分が司会になりたいがために女優のお腹を壊したのか。
Inspector?
道具に関する調査が終わったわ。
Excellent. I trust you have a name for our poisoner.
いや、ずいぶん上手に形跡を隠してたわ。
Are you saying you were outmaneuvered?
お、めっちゃ経験値入る。
Because that isn't what I want to hear. What I want to hear is, yes, Mr. Ludovico, I've discovered the identity of a dangerous anarchist. I hope you will redouble your efforts in pursuit of Helen's killer.
さあ、とうとう突き止めなければならない。
Inspector, are you confident you've finished your investigation?
犯人が誰だか分かったぞ。
I've been waiting for this. Tell me, Inspector, who killed Halcyon Helen? セドリックに罪を着せようとしているのだったら多分リージが犯人の可能性があるんだよな。でも大体ドラマとかだと彼氏が犯人だったりするけど、スペンサーはなんかそんな小物が犯人っていうのはちょっと考えにくいな。ただなんか司会になりたいがために女優のお腹を壊しただけだし、そうなるとやっぱりリージなんじゃないかなって思うんだよね。犯人はあなたよ。 I beg your pardon. You think I killed Halcyon Helen?
証明できるわ。
There's nothing to prove. I don't understand. Are you trying to make a mockery of justice, or are you really this incompetent? I expect you to deliver the name of Helen's killer. I expect you to deliver results, Inspector. And if you can't withstand the pressure, then I expect you to resign. We're done. Your services are no longer necessary.
守りに入っているような口調ね。隠し事でもあるの？
I'm defensive, Inspector, because I'm under attack. I am assaulted by your perfidious and baseless accusations. You're convinced I murdered Halcyon Helen. Fine. Show me some evidence.
何か忘れてると思ってたのよね。そこで待ってね。今証拠を見せつけてくれるから。
Are you insane, or do you take me for a fool? No, I'm not going to wait. You had your chance. Wait, don't move a muscle. Someone's just tripped my alarm. And my security defenses. And killed my patrols. The distillery is under attack. Someone's after me, Inspector. I need you over here right now.
すぐ向かう。
Now, Inspector. Damn it. Someone's interfering with my transmission. Can you read the...
あら、通信が。みんな助けに行くか？襲撃者が誰であれ、ルドヴィグさんを狙ってる気がするんだよね。その人を捕まえに行った方がいいよ。そうしなきゃいけないな。いずれにしろペントハウスの中で過ごすのも飽きてるし。そうね、他に用事なんてないしね。
Yes, that's what you get. Ooh, this is heavenly. Think they'll have free samples? Maybe new colors they haven't tested yet. I wonder what a Spectrum Fuchsia would taste like. I just want to be your friend!
ヘレン、生きてたのか？
It's you. I had a feeling you'd catch up to me sooner or later, Inspector. I was just hoping you'd
リズの死体の上に立ちはだかる私を見つけてほしかったんだけど。
What in law's name? Halcyon Helen, how are you still alive?
Oh, is that Ludovico I hear? Perfect. I'm so glad he's still in the building. Would you mind letting him know I'm about to blow his whole operation to flinders?
ずっと前からこうなると思ってたわ。
Coming from anyone else, I might have scoffed. But you? I can believe you saw through my charade, Inspector. I've heard about you and your ship, Hawthorne. You're one of the few competent people left in this colony. That makes us two of a kind.
大広間の死体。あれはあなたのカニムシだったと思うわ。
She was much more to me than a body double. Halcyon Helen was never one person. I shared
双子の
this
姉
role
妹
with
と
my
共
twin
有してい
sister,
た。
Belinda.
Are you serious? Halcyon Helen's got a twin sister? I mean, yeah, it's obvious. You know, if you think about it.
ああ、そっか。あのおっさんが双子って言ってたからな。あれ伏線だったんだな、ヘレンの。
Certainly not a peevish selfish, petty, miserable little worm like Quentin Ludovico. So when I discovered the truth, when I realized what Ludovico was about to unleash on this colony, Belinda paid the price.
Ludovico Lisa?
Call me a murderer all you like, Inspector, but I'm no coward. I bloodied my hands to save this colony. I'd do it again. If it means defending Halcyon's future, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Tell the truth, Ludovico.
ブラウンは安全な製品じゃない。
Spectrum Brown. You want to infest this entire colony with those disgusting parasites.
They're not
寄生虫などでない。あの生物は共生する生命体なのだ。
They belong to the highest order of life form, capable of living in perfect harmony with humanity. The symbiotes evoke a feeling of joy in their host, a bliss so pure, so profound as to render the most exquisite recreational substance obsolete. Oh, don't you see, Inspector? I want to bring joy back to Halcyon. I want this colony to smile again.
あれは共生体なんかじゃない。感染者の行動は見てきた。
A host only turns violent if they're carrying too many symbiotes, or if they see you as a threat. In its natural state, the relationship between symbiote and host is perfectly harmless. Listen to me. I never wanted to take a life, but I had no choice. I couldn't let anyone destroy this colony's only chance at real happiness. But what about Helen? What about all the innocent people she's killed?
No one I crossed off was innocent.
研究所にいたのはあなただったの？博士を殺したのはあなた？
Have you met Dr. Blossom? She was practically a reptile. A cold-blooded psychopath who toyed with human lives in the name of scientific advancement. Leora Blossom wasn't a person. She was a weapon in Ludovico's arsenal.
あれは敵の武装解除。
You call it murder? I call it disarming my enemy.
あなたがレンジャーズのマスコットを殺したことは知ってる。
The mascot was a spy working for Ludovico. He was ordered to keep an eye on Belinda and I, and report back to his
やっぱりリジェのスパイだったんだ。
Being paranoid. I barely knew the fellow.
Don't try to deny it. Anywhere Belinda and I went, that mascot was there, just watching us with those cold, dead eyes.
リジに頼まれて動いてたわけじゃなかったはず。
He was a Rizzo's employee. He belonged to Ludovico's horrible little family of grinning idiots. Dr. Leora Blossom, Maria Keene, that flackwit of a mascot. They were standing between me and Ludovico, so I did what I had to do. I went through them.
あなたがキー保安官を殺したの？彼女はあなたの味方だったのに。
She was on Ludovico's side. When she realized I was alive, she refused to stay silent. I gave Maria a chance. I told her about Belinda. I asked for her help, but she turned me down. She was honor-bound to report me to Ludovico. Maria had a duty to her company, and I had a duty to Belinda. We both did what we had to. But in the end, I was the faster shot.
話はもう十分だ。
You know what you need to do. Help me avenge Belinda. Help me put a stop to this.
Don't listen to her. Listen to me. Throw in with Helen and you destroy Halcyon's only chance at real happiness. Think of the future, Inspector. A lifetime of bliss and joy for every colonist in Halcyon. We can make that happen.
ヘレン、ここから出したら答えが欲しい。
It's a deal.
Sounds good to me. Let's get out of here.
We don't have a lot of time. We need to get out of here.
そうは
Not
させん。
so fast. I've sealed the bulkhead doors. You're staying right where you are. I'm sorry to do this to you, Inspector. Truly I am. If it's any consolation, Helen has brought some remarkably powerful explosives. Your death should be instantaneous. Goodbye, Inspector. Helen, we won't meet again.
閉じ込めたわね。
Sealed us in, but I
だ
think I know
他の
another
脱出の
way
方
out.
法を知っている
Follow
わ。
me and stay close.
「 スイッチ、あれか。
That can get us through. Nice work. We're close to the exit. We made it. Nice work, Inspector. We may have put a stop to Ludovico's operations, but he's still at large. He's probably gone into hiding, so we're going to root him out.
計画を記載する。
This entire complex has
複
been
合
exposed
大
to
気圏
those
全体が
parasites.
寄生虫にさらされてい
Only
る。
knows how many they've infected. Most of them won't even know they're carrying a parasite inside of them. If they're showing symptoms, it's probably already too late. Boundless energy, insufferable joy, an almost saccharine attitude of optimism. Then just like that, parasites bursting out of their bodies, fat and wriggling with vital energy.
殺虫剤のようなものがあるはずよ。人には無害で、寄生虫には致命的なものが。
You're a step ahead of me, Inspector. Clearly a woman of many talents. An airborne pesticide of some kind. I think you may be onto something. Let's meet back at your penthouse. We'll ready our next move. See you soon, Inspector.
Ew. How do they keep the fountain's juice fresh? Actually, never mind. I don't want to know. Hope you've been enjoying your stay.
Next stop.
It's strange. When you walk through that door, I half expected to see Belinda. Belinda and I practically shared a life. Losing her feels like losing a limb. She's conspicuous by her absence.
話はまた後にする？
Thank you, but no. I can't grieve properly while Ludovico's still breathing. We shut down Ludovico's distillation plant, but he's not gonna sit idly by. I stole this formula from Dr. Blossom, a failed prototype of Spectrum Brown. Look at this. The prototype had the opposite effect.
つまり、幼生期に入るのに免疫システムが寄生虫を退治するのね。
Precisely. I see we're in your wheelhouse, Inspector. Or do you... We're going to need 2 ingredients. A sample of essence of Sprat, and 1 intact pod of parasite eggs. Cedric's warehouse in the Piraeus spaceport almost certainly carries a batch of Sprat essence.
こういう開発予定地なんだな。
I'd check the... You're a scientist and an inspector? I borrowed a centrifuge from the research lab.
もう安いごよ。
I'm glad I could count on... Once you're finished, head to the pilot house. We'll hijack the control system and disperse the key...
ニードルを貸してちょうだい。
Are you worried I'm gonna shoot you in the back?
その銃に活躍の場を与えるのよ。
That sounds like a challenge. Here. There is one other thing. While you're at Piraeus, I know
Canonier.
Cedric. There. Best of luck, Inspector.
化学兵器。
What floor would... To the...
はい、まだクエストの続きだけど、今日はこれで終わりにしたいと思います。明日はね、視聴者プレゼント付きのロストライト配信をやりたいと思うんでね、やってる人はね、プレゼントがもらえる先着1名なんでね、よかったら見てください。それではご視聴ありがとうございました。